So Nintendo just announced a new Pikmin mobile game. Let's talk about that. So the news is Nintendo and Niantic announced a mobile game, and all we have is these tweets and this image. I doubt the image relates to Pikmin Go as much. I think it's just for marketing purposes, but I have noticed the different colored flowers on the head, which is kind of odd. Anyway, the head developer said the Pikmin mobile game is going to be very different from Pokemon Go, but it's based on walking, as other people have said. So, it's an interesting development for the Pikmin series. It came out of left field for me, but I think it could work well. I wanted to spend some time just throwing off ideas for this game. These aren't really big ideas. This is just like a one take type thing. I'm just spitballing ideas that I had. So Pikmin is a game where you are a captain and try and collect items to finish some objective. It's different on each Pikmin game, depending on 1, 2, or 3. Like 2 has treasure, 3 has fruit, and 1 has ship parts. I think they're going for fruit this time by the promotional image, if the promotional image shows to be true. So I'll get into that later. I don't know how it will work. They could just invent new items. I don't know. I don't know how this will work 100%. Anyway, let's say the objective is to gather as many Pikmin as possible in this game. So we say you start with the game with 12 Pikmin, and you go outside, and you can use your you can use the AR to attack Pellet Poli and Bulborbs and send them back to your onion, which you would set the location of. Which most people would set the location as a house, because it's going to be a location that you go back to often. So I'd probably set it as your like house, workplace, school, something like that. And they would sprout. It would sprout more Pikmin. I have like really random notes. And this is my first time doing like a one take type thing, so this is not going to be like a high budget video. It's just something I'm doing for random fun. So don't expect the highest quality. My Pikmin, the next video is coming. I'm ranting. Let's keep going. You have to keep going back to your house to get the Pikmin, since you only have a low amount, so you have to go back and forth between the areas. But this is only in the early game. Once you get to the late game, you'd have like, I don't know, 500 Pikmin, and you'd be able to send a bunch back with lots of items, and then have more resources to spend on like getting like say an item that's like 30 Pikmin or something, rather than having to like build up to that point, because you already have a lot. But of course you can lose Pikmin by enemies killing them and leaving them idle, and I don't think in this concept that you would have a item like a sundial. I don't think Pikmin will die at night, but I think a cool mechanic could be, since you're on Earth, there's more enemies spawning at night, so you have more resources to get, but you have a more likely chance of Pikmin dying. So yeah, since this is a mobile game, I expect there to be a few items that you have to pay for, or you can probably get them on their own, and I'll get into that in a bit. But there's a few items that would like make the game more enjoyable. Like one concept I came up for is like just an easy Pikmin like transporter, where all the Pikmin from your base will get whistled to you and get transported to you. I call it like a global whistler. So you make this with the concept I have, since they're showing fruit, you somehow transfer the fruit into this item, and once you have this item, you can like whistle any Pikmin from anywhere. But of course, you can like buy it with like $3 or something. Yeah. I don't know what other items there could be other than that with this concept. Maybe like a speed up item for some of the Pikmin, or make them like you can buy ultra spicy spray or ultra bitter spray to get the Pikmin to do more damage and like freeze enemies and stuff like that. That could be a really easy thing to put in, I think. Now, the colored flowers in the promotional image did confuse me at first. Like, how is that going to work? All the colors are one of the main Pikmin colors. Though white's the main Pikmin color, and we've had white flowers for the whole of the series. And I don't know how that's gonna work. Maybe the flower, the middle of the flower is gonna be a different color to signify that, but that could be a bit confusing. But I digress. With the colored flowers, I think they could be different buffs depending on what area you get them in. So, for example, you have a blue flower on the promotional image, and you could get that blue flower to if you that blue flower Pikmin would be found in like a beachy, watery area, and if you use them in that area, they would be more effective because they know the area surroundings better, so they could like transport things faster, kill enemies faster, stuff like that. And of course, this goes on top of their already normal type. So if you bring a blue Pikmin, blue flowered into a watery area, you're just gonna have the best time in the world. But if you brought like it would still be more. You could still be more effective with a red flower, a blue flowered red Pikmin. It'd be more effective than just a red Pikmin. So I think that could be an interesting gameplay loop. I also think that this could be really fun to see. Say your location is like a different country than you are in right now. I think could be cool if you could get the blue Pikmin and the winged Pikmin to travel across the ocean to put all your stuff back in your base. But of course, this would be kind of counterproductive since you don't have a house. I think you could probably set up like a limited time base if you go on like holiday somewhere. Like you go say a little limited time base here for like 7 days, where the onion is here for a bit. But you could also, but that would cost some resources for you to put it there. So if you really don't have those resources, you could get the blue and winged Pikmin to fly all the way over to your base in like another country or something, which I think it could really spice up the gameplay loop with some interesting mechanics. With the World Whistler, I think I called it that. You could easily like get them back, and also if you're in a different place, there'll be like different resources to get. So say the native fruit in the UK is like some apples, oranges, your normal fruit. But if you go to like a tropical region, you'd have pineapples and dragon fruit, and you could get those, and they would get different items. I think that could be cool. And like, say you're not in those areas often, so you find the more rare stuff that gives you more items, kind of rewarding like the travel aspect, which they said they want to push. So you could like if you're in like a different location, if you move all around a lot, they'd give you like more rare items. And like say let's say if you just stayed in like one general location of area, I think it could be a real unique thing. I also I think obviously some items would be unique to different Pikmin. So there's going to be like a berry in the ocean, and you got to grab that with a blue Pikmin, obviously, and like or you could have something on a high up ledge, and you only get yellow winged Pikmin to get that. Or there could be like crystals in the landscape where you can like have like rocks get it, or there could be something on fire. Hopefully not in a forest. That would be bad for the game. But you could get like red Pikmin to grab that. Stuff like that. I think this could work well if they do it correctly. I don't want this to be a situation where they over microtransaction it, because all the ideas I have, you can use microtransactions, but you can also get through the game. It's just going to be a bit harder without the microtransactions, which I like about some mobile games, rather than having like, oh, you need this now. But these are kind of my most appropriate ideas. So that that's all my ideas. I think that's all I've got though. Thanks for listening. Bye. That's a new style of video I'm doing. It's more rant focused and like off the walls random idea. I just throw an idea onto a script and then go with that. Sorry I've been gone such a long time. I've been doing college work, as well as the next video is taking a while longer than it should have. It's halfway done. It's at the 10-minute mark. So it should be done soon. This style of content isn't going to be is probably going to start becoming a regular thing where I just talk about ideas that I have. It's not going to be it's not going to replace the normal videos I have with me doing full scripted content for like 10 minutes, and it's going to be a long thing. This is just like more supplemental stuff so I can get some content out for you people. It's just something fun I want to do. Let's see. I want to see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Pink8 out.